Yeah, good morning. Yeah, we'll start, we'll continue further definition of supply. Supply, so far we discussed 7.1 A, B. C, also done. So, before I start, I give a brief introduction. Now, the scope of GST has been widened. Now, the previously in VAT scenario, only sale is covered in case of good, and mostly the immovables transfer, scrap, they are not covered this much narrowly, widely. So previously old products are not covered under vats, most of the state vats. Only new products there is vat. Now the old products also, they have been brought into the definition of GST. So when we scrap also, they have brought into GST. Okay, waste also they brought into GST. So today government will collect tax on everything, really. Means wherever you get money, whenever you get some consideration, you have to contribute something to the nation. This is what the government idea. And this supply definition was drafted in such a way that there will be no loopholes further. Okay, but supply, as usual, today I am not dealing with any act which deals alone with goods nor alone with services. Now we are dealing with the act which deals with goods, services, and now even transfers between head office branch to branch, agent to principal. Okay, uh, between relatives also brought into. So transfers also has been brought branch to branch, head office to branch. So uh, today even consignment agent sale, previously which was not within that, consignment agent sale is a transfer, just it's a transfer. Okay, so today the scope is increased or widened. It's now the scope is large compared to the scopes of indirect taxes which exist before GST. So considering this, the supply has been drafted, and now this covers, previously good VAT covers only goods. Later on they made it to cover even goods or service or both. Example, works contract, services supplied by restaurants, hire purchase, like these transactions also they are subsequently covered, though initially it was not there. So now we were discussing about an act which covers sale, service, transfers, even it covers scrap. So now even when immobile property is rented, previously courts used to say rental leasing is not at all a service, because no human intervention is involved, no value addition is involved. When I take a property and rent and give the property and rent, what does I do? I don't do any extra works. Just mere letting is not service, like that. There are many case laws. Further, I will discuss in schedule 2 what all case law says renting is not service. There are many case laws, so the government doesn't want any further escalation. So they want to tell you that even rental is not service according to the courts, they are still taxable. So I don't want any further litigation which will waste my time and business time and your time. So previously it was said by many courts that leasing license exchanges, these are not under sale. So they also brought under now the definition to avoid disputes. Next B, we are discussing about import. A71A is I am discussing forward charge, 71B is under reverse charge. 71A or 71B, I was telling you that both require consideration. Both require consideration. But the only difference between 71A and 71B is 71A is forward charge, 71B is reverse charge. Means 71A deals with supplier when he does something, when he sells something, when he does a service, or when he exchanges something. In the supplier point of view, it was discussed. Today, next import is not supplier point of view. Import of services alone covered under CGST Act. I am clearly telling under CGST Act. Tomorrow in IGST Act, even I will cover import of goods. I will discuss there. So here you specifically discuss the CGST, because why, sir, the customs import of good is not covered? The reason is that customs has not been subsumed into GST. The acts which are subsumed into GST, our purview is customs is outside subsumed. So customs is still continuing, okay, with some modifications. Okay, so hope you understood. Now I was also discussing about schedules. Previously we used to have pre-GST scenario 17/2017, we used to have a lot of disputes saying whether hire purchase is a sale or service. Some courts said hire purchase is a sale, some courts said it is a service, some courts said it is a composite supply. Even food items, restaurant supply, some courts said food is sale product, some courts said it is a service industry, some courts said it is a composite industry. So next again what is that other thing? In works contract, some courts said it's good, some courts said it's service, because works contracts involve is a mixture of works contracts is a mixture, means works contract in materials component also is there, service component also there, both are will be in materiality will be there, not minor. In teaching also some material will be given. Example, if you come to my class, I will give the study material. This is now study material value is not material, but in works contract both service component and product component equally dominate. Okay, so example I'll give, subsequently we will discuss about works contract, mixed supply, composite supply, we will discuss. So don't waste time now, because now we have to, yesterday also I was discussing the same, today also we are discussing the same. So now in order to reduce the litigation, note down, in order to reduce the litigation, government has developed schedules. Sir, it's the same like previously we used to have a schedule. One negative list example. Negative list. We used to have a schedule called negative list. Same way, in GST, the schedules 1 has grown to 3. Previously there was 1, now there is 3. So, schedule 1 gives the transactions even made without consideration is taxable. Schedule 1 gives the list of the items when made without consideration is without consideration is taxable. Without consideration is taxable. Like that it was discussed. Okay. Without consideration is supply. Sir, why should we discuss like this? Why is the need? The need has been because In some cases government want to pass input credit. In some cases government want to curb frauds. Okay, so there are a few, when I come to schedule 1 I'll explain clearly. So there are cases where transactions taking place without considerations leading to revenue leakage. Okay, there are cases transactions happening without considerations leading to cascading. So keeping in view this was drafted. There are cases, again I am repeating, reason for schedule 1, we will discuss this in full, wait, don't mind. We have government is facing cases, why is reason for schedule 1? Because of revenue leakage. Okay, next, to avoid cascading, okay, understood, to avoid cascading. So in some cases they doesn't want cascading, some cases they doesn't want revenue leakage. Okay, understood. So they drafted the schedule. Next, regarding schedule 2, wherever there is a dispute regarding whether this is a sale or supply, example whether this is a product or service, government is now giving clarity. Sir, why today both products and service both product and service both product and service are covered now. Then what is the issue? Why the problem comes? So for this, see, though today products and services are covered under GST, the rates will vary. If you say works contracts as goods, the rate may be 18, 5, 12, 28. So wherever you supply goods under 5% category, tomorrow the party will contend that he has supplied goods. So these issues may come tomorrow. So we don't want any issues further. Okay, understood. So continuing, so government doesn't want any further disputes. So though goods or services are covered, both are covered under GST. Note down, under GST goods are covered, services are covered, both also covered. Okay, understood. Both also covered. So, but rates will vary. But rates will vary. Rates will vary. But rates varies. Okay, rates will vary. Okay, that is the reason. Tomorrow you may classify it as a service. Works contract you may say it is a service, or you may say it is a good. If the rate is favorable. Okay, understood. So this negative list anyway. This is continued. This is continued. Reason I'll tell you. This is continued. Reason I'll tell you. In here, when you come to here, there are state list items. There are state list items. State list items. State list items. So, items which are under state list. Items which are under state list cannot be touched by the center. Items which are in state list cannot be touched by center. See, currently burial grounds is in state list. Taxes on land and buildings is in state list. Okay, burial ground also there is some charge they are doing, 500 per body, like this. Okay, charges are there. Normally this is municipality they are collecting in Andhra. Okay, building stamp duty is there. Duties of excise on goods manufactured produced in a state. This is alcoholic liquor. State excise is there. Taxes on electricity is under state list. Okay. Next, fuels is under state list. See, these all are not subsumed into GST. These all are not subsumed into GST. Still, they are continuing under state list. Taxes on professions, employment. Example, professional tax. Professional tax. Tax. These are the list of items which are under GST, still continuing under GST, still continuing under VAT, local, the state laws. These are the taxes not subsumed into GST. These are the taxes not subsumed. Please note down, very important. These are the taxes okay. These are the taxes not subsumed into GST. Note down. Okay, I'm removing it. You take a screenshot if you need. Okay, these are the taxes not subsumed into GST. So note down what all there. Burial ground there is some charge. It's collected by municipality or the state government. I don't know. Stamp duty is still there because mobiles only goods. Here goods is defined as mobile. Good is defined as mobile. Good is defined as state excise is still with state. State excise is still with state. Electricity duty, VAT on fuels, professional tax. These all are still under state list. Okay, we'll continue. Next one, we will come to this charge section. Now, this and is amended here. It's now made here. Actually, this amendment I didn't take into note. D is removed, C here correction is done. If you note down, the material you have to do correction. This 1A and all it has not reflected. I will give the revised one. Okay. Now see, the supply definition says the activity specified in schedule 1, the activity specified in schedule 1 made or without made or agreed to be made without consideration. Okay. So for schedule 1 activities there is no requirement of consideration. There is no requirement of consideration. Okay. So hope you are understood. Next, where certain activities or transactions constitute a supply in accordance with the provisions, of subsection 1, they shall be treated either as supply of goods or supply of service as referred in schedule 2. Example, works contracts are supply of goods or services or both. In this works contract become supply of goods and supply of services both. Means works contracts comes under the category of B. This is area where works contracts are covered. Hotel giving restaurant services. So hotel next, restaurant services. Restaurant. So what all covered here? Hire purchase, leasing, hire purchases, leasing, restaurant. Next, works contracts, etc. Okay. Now the issue is see, these all, when good or services, there is no government already has given clarity. When it is good or service, government already has gave clarity. Okay. Whenever we have something which we are unable to determine, because there are many composite supplies which involves product component and service component. In such cases, when the issue goes to the court and the different courts decides in a different way, okay, and it become a subject of litigation, then the government will cover this item under schedule 2. Okay. So far these all are covered in here. Okay. So today the schedule 2 items may be less, but as accounting standards grow, this also will grow very soon. So tomorrow the negative list grow, schedule 2 will grow, even schedule 1 will grow. So as soon as possible. More you delay, more the act becomes complex. Okay. Hope you understood. Okay. Next, notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1, the activities or transactions in schedule 3. So notwithstanding subsection 1 means, example I will tell you. See, when there is a supply, and when there is supply, and when there is consideration, and when it is for with the intention to earn profit becomes business. Even I say, we are not going for employment to do service. Employment, we go for employment for we go for employment for earnings only. In one way, if I see, employment is also a type of business. I hope you understood. But the problem with the employment is, employment is coming under state list item. Employment is a state list item. It is coming here. It is coming here. Taxes on. So once an item is state list, the government cannot levy it. It cannot be under concurrent list. It cannot be under concurrent list. Okay, understood. So the idea behind Schedule 3 was to eliminate items which are under other lists. Example, state list. Sir, today GST is under which list? Today GST is under a concurrent list, both center state parallelly taxing. When you and me shares the same revenue, it's a concurrent list. First time an indirect taxes has come to concurrent list. Okay. Previously indirect taxes are in center list or state list, but not in both. But now first time an act has come here. Okay. Okay, understood. So the idea behind Schedule 3 is to eliminate state list items and to provide exemption to some services which should not be taxed. See, there are some transactions which we should not tax. So to give relief, so scheduled list is a negative list providing mainly for the this is given to eliminate the other center and state revenues. Okay, see, there are many taxes which are not subsumed into GST. So to eliminate that, many revenues are not subsumed. So there is a negative list 3, and such activities undertaken by such activities are transactions undertaken by center, state, local authority in which they are engaged as public authorities, as notified by the government on the recommendation of council, shall neither be treated as supply of goods nor supply of services. Okay. So the transactions which are undertaken by central, state, local authorities in which they are engaged as public authorities, as may be notified by the government on the recommendations of the council. See, these are if you understand properly. Here I will write here itself, or shall I copy and write there? Here okay. Okay. So first here coverage, you see coverage. One, central government is covered, state government is covered, local authority is covered. Okay. And when local authority means it is panchayat, municipality, municipal corporation, cantonment board, etc., etc. Again there is a definition, you have to go through the definition. Okay, okay, understood. There is a definition, again we have to go through the definition. Means under municipality, again local authority means there are number of local authorities. Okay, local authorities. Okay, so we have to go through that issue again. Now what about government corporations and concerns like ICI? Okay, now what about corporation? TNRTC, Tamil Nadu Road Transport Corporation. Example, ICAI, example. Okay, next concerns like RBI, SEBI. Okay, so regulatory bodies. Okay, so formed under separate acts of parliament. These all are formed under an act of parliament. ICI is formed under an act of parliament. What about this? See, corporations are government company in which government holds a share. Okay, but they are not government. Okay, see, RTC employee, even my father is working in RTC in Andhra. My father used to say I am a government employee, but actually he is not a government employee. See, if anyone is to be government, he should come under president, then only his power. Corporations are government wings, government's agencies, not wing, government agencies. Okay, okay. So if this comes under, if these concerns comes under central, state, local authority, then only they will be eligible for exemption. Okay, sir, if see, government activities even by central, state government, government activities can be of two types. See, the government is formed for the welfare of the public. The government is formed for the welfare of the public. Government is formed for the welfare of the public. Government is formed for the welfare of the public. In government activities can be divided into two types. Sovereign functions, non-sovereign functions. Sovereign functions and non-sovereign functions. sovereign and non-sovereign functions. Example: defense, police, cleaning roads, constructing roads, bridges, dams, etc. Okay, but many of the times government find see, India is a poor country. Okay, we doesn't have funds for development activities. So what does the government do? They take up some activities to generate revenue. Okay, see, government operates in such a way that it acts like a concern which is like a private company. So sometimes government, instead of doing sovereign function, it will involve into non-sovereign functions. Okay, non-sovereign functions. Okay, so why example, you see Tamil Nadu government runs in Andhra. I will tell you, Andhra government now running wine shops. Now APS RTC was a corporation. Government holds majority shareholding. Now APS RTC is making loss, not able to generate funds. So it's running in losses and about to close. Now government made promise that they will merge in government, means they will buy RTC from APS RTC and will run as a wing. Means these all are now wing wind illa wing. Okay, next, now see, now government in above cases directly involved in non-sovereign function activities. Understood? So now the issue is, when government enters into non-sovereign activity functions and makes profit, should they can't be taxed. See, the purpose of forming government and the activities for which the government is formed, the activities the government is taking up is quite different. So I was started to take care of the welfare activities of the public. So in order to do the welfare activities, I doesn't have funds. I involve into non-sovereign functions. Okay. One more example. Karnataka government doing insurance business. Will this become a non-sovereign function? No. It's doing with see, LIC is different. LIC is government owned concern. Avladha government illa, government concern different. So see, you may ask, sir, how government and corporation and government different? See, the police department is not a corporation, it's a part of government. Assembly is a part of government. Okay. As police department is managed by the Home Ministry, the Transport Ministry will do take care RTC. Okay. So they will appoint an IAS from the government, he will take care of RTC instead of the managing director. They will appoint IAS, under him they will continue. So when Karnataka government does insurance business, will it be given is does doing the activities for which it is formed? No. Its intention is not service motto, it's profit motto. So conclusion, when government does non-sovereign activities or functions, they are subject to GST. Okay. But government has been given power to notify certain activities and they can give exemption or they can include in negative list, that is 3. Understood? So there are almost 106, 110 almost government exemptions are there. Sir, when sovereign functions perform to business entity, are they exempt? See, water supply, power supply, construction of roads. Okay. Next, the construction of roads. Next, building approval, land approval, stamp duty. Even government will pay stamp duty. Even if I buy land, I have to pay. If I buy a house, I have to take government approval. My house plan should be approved. Even government construct a fact, the plan should be approved. Even a private company constructs, even assume easy way, water can be supplied to residents, water can be supplied to industries. When water is supplied to industries, roads can be cleaned in front of a residence, roads can be cleaned in front of a factory, road can be laid to residents, road can be laid to factories, not private roads. I am saying government roads. Okay, electricity can be supplied to residents, electricity can be supplied to government. We have to see whether electricity is a sovereign function. Okay, see, so whether a particular act is sovereign or not sovereign, it is a matter of debate. Suppose some acts comes, it will go to the court. The court will tell whether it is sovereign or not sovereign, because we are not experts in Indian constitution. So I will just tell you this like this. So I am telling you have to understand whether electricity may be a private act, like a non-sovereign function. You have to understand if it is a sovereign function, when a sovereign function is supplied, example, a road is cleaned or water is supplied to a private industry, will this be subject to GST? No. India, whether company, individual, anyone is eligible for sovereign functions. Sovereign functions are welfare activities. Welfare activities. All are eligible for sovereign functions, fully exempted. So, in case of sovereign function, we need not see who is the receiver. Okay, sovereign functions or activities are exempt. Okay, non-sovereign functions are taxable. This is, I will tell you, for personal use or commercial use. Exempt. Same taxable. Understood. Unless specifically exempted. Understood. You may ask, sir, example, government is giving on rent buildings, government is giving, supplying wine. Understood. Like this, government is doing many things. When government gives on rent building, they have given up to 5,000 exempt, for residents exempt, like that they have given exemption. When you see exemption, you will understand. Okay. So why all this discussed? Okay. I am explaining you this activity, this one. So I'll write it here, material, we are getting confused. Okay. Okay. So such activities are transactions. See, I was telling, this conclusion we drawn is, government corporation like a TNRTC, okay, organizations formed with under a separate act of parliament like ICA, ICS, okay, these all will not be treated as government concerns. Okay, they doesn't come under president. Okay. So, sir, how to know? So, in practice, if someone comes to me and asks something, how do we know? We will ask the party whether are you coming under president rule. Okay. See, they will know because they are working in the concern. How they formed, are they government? Example, RTC, all RTC, I used to tell my father is a government employee, but my father is really not a government employee. He is an employee of a company where government holds some share. That's how we have to tell outside. Okay. So, now government corporations, government agencies, there are numerous agencies, government boards, choir board, like that, there are number of concerns. First thing you have to determine whether they will come under president. You have to ask them. In practice, we'll ask them. See, we don't know what is constitution. I know only indirect taxes. So in detail, in depth, I doesn't know. See, I am telling you because this is not my act. I studied this because all chartered accountants may not know what is government. So when a party comes, know about him completely. Then determine whether he is a government or government concern or government agency, like government body. Whenever, example, SEBI, RBI, CBI, okay, choir board, spices board, okay, like this. If someone comes to you, you have to tell them whether you come under central government, state government, local authority. Okay. When they decide, when they say will fall under state government or central government or local authority, then immediately that concern is not exempted. Don't decide it's exempted. Then you have to see their acts are sovereign acts or non-sovereign functions. Example, now RTC has taken up in Andhra the transport. They brought a private company and they are running the private company now under government brand. Previously, they used to give license to liquor in Andhra. Now the government itself is doing liquor business. Means instead of giving license, if we give license, they get revenue in the form of license and VAT. Some revenue goes to the dealer. He will buy and sell, there will be some margin. So now, if out of 10 rupee, dealer makes 5, government will make 5 previously. Now government is desperate need of funds. So what they are doing, out of 10 they want 10 rupees margin. Okay. Where is water? So what the government is doing, instead of the private, what the private businessman is doing, the government itself is doing under him. They will appoint an IAS. Okay, one ministry will be there, and the ministry will take up this task of selling wine. Okay, and this will be monitored by that minister. So even though it is center, state government, local authority, engaged as public authorities, okay, they are not exempted. We have to see the real nature of the transaction. If the activity is a sovereign nature, okay, then it is excluded from GST. If it is non-sovereign nature, example, insurance business done by Karnataka government, non-sovereign. Why it is doing insurance business? To earn, make profit. Okay, they want money for welfare activities. The tax revenue is not sufficient. I want money. That's why we do like that. Now the issue comes with APS government. AP government is running Volvo bus, collecting charges from the passengers. Is this a sovereign? No. They want money for meeting welfare activities. That's why they have taken up. Okay. So conclusion is, the acts done by government, it may be at center, state or local authority, becomes taxable acts only unless the government notifies. Okay. Sir, what is the process of notification? If suppose if an act want, government want an act to be notified, what they do? What they do? They have to approach GST council, convince the GST council it is for the welfare of the public. Okay, we are doing so. Then GST council recommends CBIC. CBIC will notify. Okay. How to know what all notified under section 7 2B? Under section 7 2B, only one activity is notified. Okay, 7 2B, one activity is notified. How do you know? I will know. I will tell you how. Go to website. How they notified? What all acts notified? Just log into my site. Go to services. Go to library. Go to acts. Go to section 7. We are discussing section 7. We have to select act. Okay, then go to section 7. Go to notifications. This is section notifications. Go here. One only notified so far. I have already gone through everything. This is a clarification. Sorry. Clarification. We want CGST, no? We are under CGST. Go to CGST notification. This is notified. See. Services is notified. Under section 7 2. See. Under section 7 2. See. In exercise of powers conferred by subsection 2 of section 7 of the Central Goods and Service Tax, the central government, on the recommendations of the council, thereby notifies that the following activities or transactions undertaken by the state government in which they are engaged as public authorities shall be neither treated as supply of good nor supply of services. So, shall I copy this to our book? So, here I will take it. Hope you have written this. What happened? Okay, see. Study this. Services by way of grant of alcoholic liquor license against consideration in form of license fee, application fee, by whatever name is called, has been notified. Sir, liquor license, for example, to liquor license for restaurants, my client, I have a lot of client in liquor business, doing liquor business. When I asked them, they used to tell, sir, there will be officially there will be 10 lakhs for liquor license. Okay, official. I don't discuss other things. See, officially, it basing on are you serving in the restaurant, are you serving to the room. In Google, when I Google it, when we are serving in room, its license is worth 5,44,000. When it is serving in the restaurant, license is 15,000. See, this is payment made to the government. It will go to government account. You have to understand things clearly. Okay, if you don't understand these things, you will not become a good chartered accountant. So the amount goes to government account is 15,000. Okay, the amount which doesn't go to government account, we don't know. Okay, it's paid like this. Okay. So what does this mean? If you are a student of Tamil Nadu or Andhra, you don't understand this one. Previously, if you want to go for liquor, initially there will be a tender. Sir, one person can do how many tenders? There is restriction. One, I can think 3. I think for one, if you want to make a tender, initially you have to deposit 10,000. Sir, if you didn't get tender, the 10,000 is lost. Because there are, if tender is called without application fee of 10,000, at least 1 crore people from India, they'll apply. Because if they get tender license, they'll become crorepati or wine license. So initially there will be application fee. It is, I heard in Andhra from some of my clients, 10,000. If 1 second, I could charge. Okay, it is 10,000. Okay, once you get the bid, you have to pay the application fee. Application fee, license fee. See, this liquor being a state list item, the period of license will vary. The license fee also varies state to state. I did not tell you this. When anything is in state list, the rules from state to state surely will vary. The application process, application fee, license fee, everything undergoes change. Now, sir, one client is running liquor, he has a restaurant with liquor license. Sir, what should the client do? If he get the liquor license, what will happen? See, if a person gets liquor license, he can get from, note down important things, supplier of liquor license. Supplier of liquor license is state government. Sir, if a party get liquor license, example, receiver of liquor license is Mr. X. Okay. Now the issue is, if I get liquor license, who is supplier must collect from receiver and remit to government. Okay. So when I supply liquor license, who will supply liquor license? State government. To whom it is supplied? X. When this transaction happens, so pre-GST, when we are in service tax, Mr. X availed government services subject to RCM. He will pay and lose credit. Reason: liquor is under state list. Under state list. Okay. Okay. I need some water. I'll take break to just 1 minute. I'll come back. So conclusion, see, I was discussing there, here, there. See, when I come to reverse charge, so though it is tough today, by end of my 10-day class, 12-day class, you will be knowing everything. Okay, so I'll continue. Now the liquor license is a state subject. Center state list. Now the state governments are all state governments representatives are in GST councils. See, you understand the logic. Sir, a restaurant owner is taking liquor license. 5 lakh he will pay liquor license fee. 20% almost means almost 90,000 he will pay so GST. He will not get credit of GST. Reason, an item which is specific to liquor, okay, will not be allowed to credit, because a common expenditure will be allowed proportionately. Specific expense which is exempt, GST being liquor being exempt product, any expense incurred for supplying an exempt product, okay, exempt I can say non-GST supply, under exempt definition it has been given, even non-GST supply as exempted. Okay, so this is, I can call it an exempt product. All specific exempt product inputs for exempted product is disallowed. Like this will get tomorrow disallowed. Now the states requested, sir, my all liquor shops, okay, facing problem with this GST. The idea of the states is, if the center has given exemption, to that extent they will increase their license fees. By this way, the states get revenue, more revenue. And see, in all states, 29 states, are there in GST Council, 28 states, 3 union territories also, representatives from 3 union territories also there in GST Council. When they recommended, all states recommended, this should be, though this is not a non-sovereign function, no government will form to sell liquor. Okay, this is a non-sovereign function subject to GST, and it is provided to business persons. It's not provided to, liquor license is not given to wives for drinking and all. It's not a residence supply. Water madrilla residence ki kadayadu. This is given, liquor license are given to businessmen. So all services provided by to business people, business entities are taxable under reverse. Okay. Now the government recommends, the state governments recommended, this should be exempted. Sir, why? What is the use? It is anyway coming from there. They are not coming from their pocket. See, the government currently, today's scenario, if you see correctly, state government neither collecting and paying. At least some complaints, even there is no complaints, but then you have to understand to whom this is, who is paid this liquor license. When Mr. X get liquor license, he will pay under reverse. What is the loss for the state government? When the GST is removed, they can hike the liquor license prices. By this way they can earn profits. Okay, this is the only use they have, the states have. This is my opinion. Don't think I am telling something. So the states recommended, this nobody's welfare is there. A wine shop wala is removed GST. The state that they are trying to increase their revenues. Sir, if this is taxed, what will happen? Again, the revenue comes to the states only. States only. Sir, okay. Now we will also discuss whether liquor license can be subject to tax by the center. Surely they can tax. Liquor is outside GST purview. Sale of liquor is outside. Production of liquor is outside GST. You go above and see what is in state list. See here. Okay. See, manufacturing of liquor. Here if you see, you study this one. Duties of excise on the following goods manufactured, produced in the state. Countervailing duties at the same or lower rates on goods manufactured, produced elsewhere in India. Okay. Adella I will tell you. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption, opium. Okay. See, state list, if you see, you will understand whether GST can be levied. Under state list, two places it is covered. VAT on sale. Here you see sale. Okay. Sale. Sale. Okay. Understood. Sale of alcoholic liquor also there in this. Aviation turbine fuel and alcoholic liquor. Okay, aviation turbine fuel and alcoholic liquor. Sale of fuels plus alcoholic liquor for sales are there. Here manufacturing of liquor is there. Manufacture, duties on manufacture or production in the state. Okay. So under GST, under state list, manufacture of liquor is covered. Sale of liquor is covered. But licensing for liquor through bid, not covered. This is to start a shop. Once you get license, you buy wine, sell wine. Sell wine. This will come under state subject. Okay, understood? Understood. Hope you understood this. Okay. So, you wonder how it's clear, I am clear now. So, there is a dispute. There was amendment on 1/4/16. The negative list has come that time. So once from that time, the government service under this was subject to service tax. So this license, liquor license is subject to service tax. Even after introduction of GST, it continued. Okay, I'll change color because you may not be able to see properly. Okay, understood. Now government notified it. Government notified it. What now the government is saying? Government notified it. Service by way of grant of alcoholic liquor against consideration in form of license fee or application fee by whatever name called. So now they notified it. This is the only notification under that section. Okay. So what we are discussing? Activities, transactions undertaken by central government, state government, local authority in which they are engaged as public authorities, as may be notified by the government on the recommendations of the council. So who recommended? This is recommended by the, you see the notification, in exercise of the powers conferred by subsection 2 of 7 of Central Goods and Services, the central government on the recommendation of the council thereby notifies that the council has notified, government has taken by the state government. State government only can do liquor license. And by the state in which they engage as public other, she shall be treated neither as supply of good or no supply of service. Okay. So understood. See, substance over form must be, here the central government has seen the substance over form. See, sale of liquor means, even licensing a liquor also one type. Liquor is under state list. The license again the center is collecting revenue from that. So it should not be done like that. So by this exemption, previously for on liquor government is collecting. See, conclusion. Sale, license. Okay, license is previously subject to service tax. Okay. Now will state levy VAT? No, because it is collected by state only. It goes to state only. Liquor license is issued by the state, collected by the state. If I levy tax on me, I only have to pay. Okay, understood. Previously, on services rendered by state, on services rendered by state, that is liquor license. Center is levying tax. Now state and center combined and formed GST. So center government has given some benefits. Okay, conclusion over. So understood, this is the only thing notified pa. Again, don't think I was very clear now. So conclusion, even though when there is supply, even though there is business, even though there is consideration, conclusion drawn from where? From subsection 2. Conclusion drawn from subsection 2, section 7, subsection 2, drawn subsection 2, even though there is supply, means there is business, there is consideration, there is service. Okay, this is the conclusion. This is 3, schedule 3. Conclusion, even though there is supply as per 7.1, still it is not subject to tax when it is in schedule 3.